Hi folks, this is Chuck Ma, and today I wanted to just talk a little bit about how I would plan on setting up my own solo act with backing tracks that I can play, into my mixer and play guitar and do my vocals and have the backing tracks play also. And it's something I've been kind of fascinated with for a while. So I just sort of wanted to show you through my research how I've kind of figured out to do that. So we'll start with my mixing board. I have my microphone, which is just the standard SM57. That is going into input 1 on my Yamaha MG10XU. So vocals into 1 on the Yamaha. Into input 2, I am using my Line 6 Helix LT. It's something that I've been using for a while now. I use it for my effects going into my actual deluxe reverb. And the only difference I use in using this live is that I add an amp sim to it, because the idea being I'm not going to take my amp out with me. It's all going to be, everything's going to be going into the mixer. So I have a deluxe reverb guitar amp, so the amp sim on here that I'm going to use on here to go out into input 2 on the mixer is going to be a deluxe reverb with all the effects that I ordinarily have set up in there to run into my live rig, except I'm going to be using the amp sim in this for that. So that goes into input 2. Now input 5 and 6, I had to use input 5 and 6 because that's that's one of the inputs that has the XLR input in it. But so that's going into 5 and 6. Now that's going into 5 and 6, and that's going out from my from this pad I've got here. You can use a computer, anything would really like that with a line out, but I am using the Samsung tablet. Hold on. So, and I am using the Samsung tablet going into the mixer for that. And I wanted to talk a little bit about how I set up like the lyrics and backing tracks, because that's kind of important. So I use this program. It's called Karaoke, not karaoke version. It's called Lyric Pad. And just to kind of back up for a minute, where do I get my backing tracks? Well, a lot of guys, I've heard a lot of guys create their own backing tracks, and that sounds phenomenal. And it's kind of like a choice of whether to do like a mix of your own backing tracks or getting some purchased backing tracks, or doing like a little combination of the two. If you have like a DAW and stuff, you can get kind of pretty crazy with it. But in my case, I'm using the karaoke versions tracks. And karaoke versions is a site on the internet where you can go out and purchase backing tracks, and you set up a custom mix to have whatever instruments you do or don't want in it. I feel the more minimal you keep it, the better off you're going to be. I think the more kind of like these virtual, not virtual instruments, but the karaoke instruments that you add in there, the less realistic it's going to be. So I keep it to a minimum. I might go into karaoke versions and buy something like, let's see, so I said like Bad Moon Horizon on there, and it has just the maybe one guitar, bass, and drums, and then the rest of it comes from me, the vocal, the guitar. So I'll go ahead and buy the backing track. I'll download it into here, and so you will have, I usually add the click track in there. You have the option of doing that. There is a way to, I believe it's, I had seen that you can mix the click track all the way to the left maybe, and your outputs all the way to the right, because it really doesn't matter how you run those live. It's not going to be stereo or anything like that. So if you run all your mains all out to the right and your monitor to the left, you can have the click track just going to your monitor and your backing track going out to the mains, and maybe and add in to your monitor however much of the mix that you want. But anyway, so karaoke versions is a source from my backing tracks. I use a program called Lyric Pad Pro. It's a great little program. I think it costs about $10. I like it. And I will take my backing tracks And I will name them, for example. So in LyricPad Pro, you have to have the title of the file, the lyric file, like say Bad Moon Arising, has to, the way it's formatted, has to be exactly the same as the backing track you're putting in. And you load the backing track into Backing Tracks. You load the lyric file in. So if your lyric has to say, for example, if it says capital B, A-D, space, capital M-O-O-N, space, capital R-I-S-I-N-G, if the lyric is titled that way, your backing track has to be titled exactly the same for them to associate. But if you do, then theoretically, you can go ahead and set up your set lists in this. And here's mine. It's an 18-song set list. Give you an idea. It's not going into my PA right now, but check this out. So here's your... So that's essentially it. That's all the instruments I've got on that backing track. Anyway, so LyricPad, I set up my set lists, my lyrics, and my backing tracks. Kind of all have those going into a set list that looks like what I had just shown you. And it'll just kind of run. And once you do that, it'll just run down the whole set list, and you just have to remember to turn everything off. It'll also scroll. Which is a setting that you can kind of tweak in there. So it'll run down that whole set list here for you, and you don't have to necessarily think about anything else. All you really have to remember is to turn your turn the tablet off, the backing tracks off during in between songs and stuff. So what else do I use? Is you're going to have a pretty long RCA cable coming out of that to go into your mixing board. And as far as controlling the backing tracks, I have this little thing here. So this is my little Manos Air Turn. It is something that I've used out to just kind of have some lyrics with me, but I would control that just by mounting my tablet into this, and then just kind of hitting play during the first set and letting it do its thing, and just kind of have the backing tracks play along while I kind of can look at the lyrics and control my backing tracks at the same time. So that's cool. And that's the setup. That's what I'm thinking about using. Anybody who wants to kind of put any comments down below, feel free to do that. Please subscribe to my channel. I do all kinds of guitar videos and lesson videos and some covers on there, but yeah, subscribe to my channel, comment if you like, and we'll if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.